Good morning. Good morning indeed. Mr. Dino, sup? Doing very well. Feeling a little bit better. I was sick yesterday. Still kind of sick, but yeah, on the mend, which is good. Crypto Sleeper, how you doing? Ghost of Corey Bing Bong. Hey, how are ya? DC, the woodworking man. Yeah, smash the like button, thank you. Grade A Music, how you doing, man? From Aruba. So it looks like we got that break to the upside. The unexpected move. Well, it's the it's like the counter textbook move. So a textbook suggests there's more likelihood of breaking down, but it looks like the opposite has happened. However, we are still facing the previous high resistance here. So the top of this rectangle, this box here, if we're able to break above that, you know, to head up to next resistance at 23,000 and, you know, break through that as well, then that's looking good for a really nice rally, potentially back to 30k, but we'll have to wait and see. The first step is complete, which was breaking bullish from this bear pennant. It was the unexpected outcome, but you know, always possible. So, yeah, I think potentially the break up had a bit more power in the fact that there was already, you know, a huge sell off twice that we've been through. Or, well, you could argue many times. There was this sell off here, this one here, and then we've had the third major sell off in recent time. Obviously, you know, the bloodshed from all time high happened fairly quick over the course of like about 2 to 3 months. So I call that like one giant move down. All right, I'm back. Thanks for waiting there, guys. So, to see what happened in the past here, it could be a similar outcome. Can you see here how, yes, we broke up from this bearish pennant, right? This bearish symmetrical triangle. Much the same as we're kind of doing now, right? Could this mean that we find resistance at this previous high, which is the $23,000 resistance from back in mid-June? For me, it's the 16th of June. For you, it's probably like the 15th. So I'm going to mark that up on the chart just so that we have an idea of where that exists. 23K. And it's not quite 23, but I'm going to make it 23. All right. And we'll use maybe yellow for that. So that's like, you know, the next major point of resistance. If we do a Fibonacci retracement, we'll see if there's any kind of clarity on that as well. Okay, so it kind of marries up with a retest of the 382. That same fib level, right? These lows here, it's kind of like a test of the golden, well, the golden pocket is like a test of this low here, especially this low. So that would be, those are the major points to keep an eye on as we, you know, build our way back up to that 30K region or trading zone that we spent a lot of time in. It was like a month. So if we were to, let me get rid of this box here. If we duplicate what happened back here into like that, this is like, that's also definitely a strong likelihood. We could, you know, similar thing. We broke out of this bear pennant to the upside, but it was kind of like a false narrative, you know, like we just didn't have the power or the energy to break up higher again, make higher highs. So similar to that, we could find resistance not far from where we are now and just struggle to get on top of it. It just depends. Like, the market makers decide if things are ready to move up long term. Hello, Brandy. Hello, Sarah. Good to see you guys on the stream again. There's a lot of people come in here. They're quite loyal to the channel, so I appreciate your support, guys. Thank you. And yes, thank you, DC Woodworking. If you want to catch when I'm live and you know, you want to get notified ASAP, hit the little bell icon next to the subscribe button if you haven't already. So yeah, looking positive so far. Yesterday's daily candle was a beautiful green solid candle, a little bit of wick on top and bottom, but for the most part, yeah, that's a good 5% recovery off the bottom there. So yeah, this could very well be the bottom of the market. Like, potentially, we might not see prices below 17.6 again. or below 1800 again. If you look at previous like market floors, like back here, you can see those extreme pushes to the downside are the low point of the market. Like this was, the COVID drop, but we never came anywhere close to back down there again. You know, and similar back here, like this push down here, obviously the floor of the market did not come back down again that low. So consider that as a possibility. But for now, yeah, I really still think that there's a strong likelihood that we just trade inside this range for the foreseeable future, like for some time, It could take a while for us to really start trending back up on a bull cycle. We're still inside this descending or this falling wedge, this major falling wedge that I have here in white. We're on the lower half of that wedge, so a push to the top side, maybe a retest of 30,000 could be on the cards, but yeah, the textbook breakout or the textbook result of these patterns is, a move of bullish activity. So it could be the spark we need to reignite the market for crypto, to gains, basically, making long trades. Thank you, Ninja. That's really kind of you to say. Best on YouTube. Appreciate that. Hello, Pratik. How are you? Lex Leone. Good to see you guys here. So let's have a look at some of the other alts, or just the alts in general. So Solana. Now, I think that since Bitcoin has pushed up here, there could be a bit of a delayed reaction and the alts might not have their move up. It could be a delayed effect. So a retest of this high for Solana would be reasonable to forecast, I think. So up to 42 and beyond as well, of course. So in the grand scheme of things, it hasn't even really moved yet. This is still really low. This is cheap. It's within this previous range that we traded in. And that's the same case with all the alts. Like, they haven't truly moved yet. They're waiting for Bitcoin to show strength in the market. Let's check out everyone's favorite, Dogecoin. So I think this is probably waiting on an Elon Musk tweet or something like that. Or, maybe something from Bitcoin, some positive, bigger moves from Bitcoin to bring that liquidity back into crypto. That volume, we need that trade volume to pick up. So you can see if we go on let's go to the weekly actually. Compared to the previous runs, the previous cycles here for Doge, it's the volume is really low, quite flat, and it hasn't really picked up since late last year. Like, there was a brief moment of considerable volume, nothing compared to the crazy pumps that we had in the past, but Yeah, it's been quiet. It's been quiet for Doge in the last, 12 months basically. So yeah, that is a very slow and monotonous decline in price, but it's good to see that it's kind of like stalled a bit. At least for now, it's rounding out using the previous low as support, which are these lows here from this part of the market. So let me find where that July mark is. What's today? The 8th of July. So that's about as close as we'll get to drawing out an accurate representation of the year, the last 12 months anyway. Early July to early July. It's just been like, obviously a sell-off so far. We need to see a macro higher high. So if we can get above, we'll have to go back to the daily to see this a bit better. Take your pick. Every high that's sort of been set has been lower since SNL. Every major high we've had has just been lower and lower and lower. And we just need to change that trend. We just, there needs to be something that goes higher for once, and that might be the next move. So I'm going to check back on Bitcoin and go to the weekly because I want to check the MACD, and there is signs of it, crossing positively like this. It's still early to say, but there is a sign that, hey, the selling has been exhausted. We've had, major pushes to the downside for the last however long this has been. What's this? About 18 months? Not quite. No, sorry. Not 18 months. Since November last year. So that's about 7 months, 8 months. So going back to the weekly, yes, once we get that cross, that bullish cross on the MACD, that's going to signal a major shift in momentum. And with any luck, we can start getting the MACD to come up over the baseline. And that would be a huge signal that, the market has basically turned. But I still think that it's quite possible that we get rejected in this region, come back down, and it just really flattens out, similar to what happened over here and, through here as well. This drop and rise was a bit of an anomaly. The black swan event of COVID. So I would suggest that should have looked more something like this, like without this anomaly. But that's what we've got. And similar with this drop here, it was very strange that we were trading along a floor for so long, and then all of a sudden, boom, someone changed the floor. We dropped down and still traded flat. But hey, these are things that we can't see coming, This drop here and this drop here, they can happen out of the blue, especially on the back end of a bear market. So there's no doubt we've been in a bear market for the last 6 months or so. And we haven't done those kind of consecutive weeks on end of just really low volatility and flat along the floor, which is exactly what we've done back here. A bit of it was actually the volatility up a little through this region, but for the most part it was quite flat. There was definitely no bull market going on. There was rallies and the volatility was a lot higher, but of these three sort of market accumulation areas or zones, obviously this one being the most volatile, I think that we're due for another period like that. And it doesn't mean that it has to happen though. It'd be interesting to see the market go bullish again so soon after, only having a bull market last year. Like, we had a huge bull market. But hey, anything's possible. So Dogecoin, we're just waiting on Bitcoin to get the party started, and it's probably the same with every other altcoin out there, to be honest. Let's look at XRP. Someone's requesting some TA on XRP. It's a similar kind of story, hey. We're back to this ranging market zone. Like, you can see price spent a lot of time flat in this area. And, we're on the top end of that same range again now. Time to bring that over here. Yeah. See, sometimes it takes weeks and weeks on end to get the range really set in. So there could be cheaper prices on the cards for XRP. There is no sign of it turning around just yet and like trending up, but it'd take a cross on the MACD here. Like, this is a good sign. Like, the fact that we've bottomed out on the RSI and the MACD is so low below the baseline on the weekly that's we haven't really been that low before on XRP since probably like years before. So yeah, we have come down considerably. These are, if you're not accumulating alts right now in preparation for the next bull market, then really do consider that. Consider just the sort of part of the market that we're in now. We're in the buy zone. Like, there's no doubt about it. This is a buy zone. We are in a buy zone right now, just like back here was a buy zone. This is all sell zone, like, right? All of this activity bullish and crazy candles going up. That's, you don't have to sell straight away, but you have to think about, okay, this is like heading toward profit-taking territory. So maybe you can dollar cost average out of your positions, like sell along the way, So, as prices climb, an example of that would be like, hey, where's my first point of resistance? Like, probably from the previous high here. Like, okay, I'm going to take some profit here. So you don't sell 100% of your holdings. Maybe you sell, 20%. And then, if in this case, this is very volatile and dramatic, but we came all the way back down again, trended up, double topped, got rejected back down, found a higher low though. And this played out over weeks, by the way. This is a very volatile part of XRP. Like, there's a lot of doubt, a lot of uncertainty because of the whole SEC thing. XRP was actually rallying up, gearing for a good bull run along with the rest of the market. But the SEC thing shoved it all the way back down. People lost confidence, and yeah, it ended up going, below 20 cents. But anyway, to get back to this example, as it climbs higher, like, okay, we've hit another milestone, $1. Maybe you sell a further 50% of what you held, which leaves you with 30% left, just in case, some wild moves happen. And that they did. So the rest of the bag could have been sold anywhere along the way up, you know. But that's an example of dollar cost averaging out of your position. Your first sell should be light, second a little heavier, and then third, whatever you like. But I don't know, there's different strategies and approaches to averaging out of your positions as well. But yeah, as far as like all we can really do with the alts is macro analysis at this stage because we're not in a bull market yet. So, it's very hard to look for setups when there is no trend. There's no bull trend at the moment. I'll go down to the 4-hour for XRP. You can see that there is a bit of a trend on the bottom side here of higher lows, much like Bitcoin was doing. And something like this is going on. So it's very much inside a bear pennant formation. So it's certainly approaching the top of this, and this is going to be very interesting to see how it reacts to the top, if it gets to the top. Potentially a breakout. That would be really cool to see. Yeah, I'm with you on that one, DC woodworking. I think a long accumulation period would be awesome. I'm not ready to go bullish again. It's too early, if you ask me. Like, I mean, it's still cool. It's fun. It's like, let's make some money now. But just think of the potential if we have more time to accumulate over the next 12 months. How much better that's going to be. Like, I don't want to peak early. I don't want to, like, it was like this. Let me go back to the BLX chart to show you what I mean. Okay, halvings. This will explain it very well. So the true bull runs seem to start at the begin, like just after the halving takes place. That's when the real bullish action happens. Anything that happens in the middle of the range is sort of, it's not a true bull market. Like it's just like this. This was just a big relief rally off this extremely long sell-off bear market. We had it, back here in 2014 as well. So, but this, yeah, everyone was sort of like hopeful that this would get us back up to, 20K and beyond, but it was just too soon, and the amount of resistance at 14,000 or 15,000, whatever you want to call it, was too heavy to get above. Yeah, 14 grand, 14K. So, yeah, this was sort of like a false start. But, once we got that halving, in May of 2020, that really was enough to get the ball moving and was the spark, along with the COVID drop of the, the bull market that happened after it. So the point is, we've got a fair ways to go until the next halving. So if we start going bullish here, I don't think it will be enough to get us back up and testing new all-time highs. I think it would be better if we, it's still good if we rally, like, there's still money to be made, but I think we still have to go through the crypto winter, per se. Just like the back end of a bear market here. I think we're going to get another one similar, like where we just go flat for a while. You know, it's just a part of the cycle, the accumulation zone. So so between now and the next halving, anything can really happen, but I think the way the market makers see it is, you know, an accumulation zone. They want to keep it cheap so that they can buy up big chunks of Bitcoin and whatever cryptos they like over time without causing slippage. If they were to buy, you know, they probably have the capital to buy it all today, but if they did it all at once, they would cause massive slippage because there's not enough volume selling to, you know, especially at these prices, there's not enough people selling at 20,000 to meet the demand of what their capital is. You know, they could have they have multiple millions of dollars that they want to purchase, and they need time to do it under the radar. So that's where this comes in, you know, these flat periods. All right, I think that's pretty clear now. I've made my point, but yeah, things don't just recover overnight after such a huge retracement like this. You know, you're not going to get a world record bull market straight away, like a big V like that. This was very amazing, this double top bull market that we had. Huge sell-off, followed by a massive push to a new high, which was totally unnatural, by the way, because look at what happened here. Like, the RSI was already weakening, and to get a push to a new all-time high, look where the new all-time high was on the RSI. It was nowhere near the highs of previous bull cycles. I mean, even the 2014 bull cycle, the 14K bull cycle back in 2019, you know, came way up above the RSI 70. So yeah, Bitcoin's all-time high being so low on the RSI was, you know, evidence, or it was a hint that this is unsustainable. Like, we're not going to be able to climb to 100K from here. The energy just was not in the market. There wasn't enough volume coming in, new volume. So yeah, it's the really cool thing right now is that we're pulled right back like a slingshot. You know, the RSI has come so far down. We've got all of this room ahead of us on RSI to climb back. So just looking at this on the weekly on the RSI, this is the buy zone, no doubt about it. And that's the entire market. The entire market has come straight back down into, you know, areas of buying. Now, just remember, when buying, you've got a lot of time. Time is on your side, so don't rush it. You know, if you plan to, say, buy up around $10,000 worth of crypto over this accumulation phase, don't do it all at once in one spot, because we don't know if there's going to be another drop or not. And you want to have powder, you want to have dry powder on the side to take advantage of any potential moves down. So, you know, you want to get the best for your money, the best bang for your buck. So take your time with accumulating. If you've got all the capital ready to go, that's awesome, you know, but you don't have to rush it. You don't have to buy it all in one place. Take your time with accumulation, I think. And that's just my opinion. Of course, you do what you like, because remember, this channel's not about giving financial advice, even though it sounds like it. Or maybe I should be a bit more careful with how I word things, but yeah, this is just my opinion on the current state of the market and, you know, what I think's going to happen over the next 12 months. Or, you know, 6 months for that matter. 12 months is a bit silly. Like, you shouldn't really be making forecasts 12 months ahead. But yeah, I think I'm pretty sure, like a lot of people out in the crypto world, I'm pretty confident in this halving scenario, you know. Every time we get a halving, there is these explosive moves up. And it's not a sentiment thing. These halvings are a mechanical thing within the coin, you know? It's like a built-in scarcity mechanism. So, you know, a halving is the miners get rewarded with half the block reward that they did in the previous cycle. So that means that is an inbuilt mechanism to make Bitcoin more valuable at each halving, basically. You know, it's harder to come by. It's harder to mine each step of the way, which gives it value inherently. So, yeah, every 4 years, just like the Olympics. I think it's in tune with the Olympics too, yeah. This was London, 2012. Who remembers what 2016 was? Was it Athens? Maybe. I can't remember. Greece? 2020 was like Tokyo, Japan. But I think it was postponed to last year. Yeah. And then the next Summer Olympics is at, let me check. Yeah, 2024. So it is in tune with the Olympics, you know. Oh, sorry, 2016 was Rio, not Athens. My bad. Athens was earlier than London, that's right. Yeah, Tokyo, and then what have we got next? Paris. Paris. So, and that's right. The 2008 was Beijing, 2004 Athens, 2000 Sydney. Yeah, that's right. How is the paint drying? Says James. Um, are you referring to like when I was painting the house? It's drying well. It's bone dry now. It's been bone dry for quite a while now. The 2028 Olympics in LA, and then 2032 where I live in Brisbane. That's cool. Right. So yeah, pretty keen for the Summer Olympics. Hey, how poetic is that? When we have a crypto winter, it's like during the Winter Olympics. So Winter Olympics through here. I think there's a Winter Olympics coming this year, maybe? I don't know. Is there? Or have we had it already this year? Yeah, we've already had it, maybe. I'm thinking. Where was the last Winter Olympics? Like, Beijing, yeah, February this year. 4th to the 20th of February 2022 was the Beijing Olympics. I don't even remember. I don't remember it being on, but yeah, you can see like the crypto winters were during the Winter Olympics, basically. It's like, you know, still a 4-year gap between each games, but it's like the every 2 years you get some kind of Olympics, whether it's summer or winter. Yeah, probably delayed. I think the Tokyo, these got delayed a year. They actually happened in 2021 because of COVID. I think there might have been a games that got delayed back in during World War II, if I can remember, something like that. Anyway, yeah, that's pretty cool. That's where it's been. That every halving seems to be on cue in the same year. Anyway, with the Olympics. So, what are we looking at today? Can you see what's happening? Short cycle here. Bull flag or bull pennant. Right here. Look at that. It's beautiful. And we are awaiting the breakout. Hopefully we get a move up out of this pennant. Down on the 5-minute chart here. Just so we can see like the detail of where these support and resistances live. But yeah, once again, textbook outcome for a bull pennant is a move up. So let's see. So do I see XRP retesting the 42-cent mark? Yeah, it'll happen at some point. Just going to mark out where 42 is. I see you're talking about these highs here. Yeah, it's certainly on the cards. Like, to see Bitcoin produce a bullish move outside of its pennant after, 8 months of bearish activity. Yeah, it's certainly on the cards for XRP to be able to come up and test, the higher end of these previous highs, or come out of this pennant formation like that. But yeah, you really have to consider, keep your eye on this high as well, because that's pretty significant as well. That's like you said, the 38 cent. But you want to, just keep an eye on it, follow it. If you've entered through this area and you're riding this current trend up, just see how it behaves approaching this resistance line. You really want to get that break. So if it gets rejected, you want to have a plan to potentially take profit at that spot. Hey, Dogecoin. I'm just trying to identify any kind of patterns on Doge at the moment. I can see that similar kind of thing, like where there's a trend of higher lows, of course, but the top side is it's hard to get a read on. Right. So, I mean, there's a brief hint at a rising wedge, or a bear flag, whatever you want to call this. But yeah, Doge has a bit of a mind of its own. It can do anything really. It just depends on what happens with Elon Musk, I think. If he wants to get the party started on Dogecoin, then he can do that. But we can all remember, if you remember back from the previous bear market, bull cycle, the bull market, every time that he tweeted, it would cause some kind of a rally, and it had a diminishing effect. Like every time that he would do it after the previous time, the effect wore off as it. So it's good that he hasn't been saying it often. Yeah, it's been a long time since he's been trying to pump it. He actually got in trouble with the SEC because of it. Someone sued him or whatever about Doge. But yeah, it's kind of funny the effect that he had on it, all through last year and late 2020. All right, look at that. We're getting the bullish break out of this bull pennant here on Bitcoin. Yo, you're back. Miss you, Professor. I don't know if I'm a professor, but I do my best. Can we sustain a move and retest this high here? Or even this one for that matter, as we break out of this wedge? Is it going to be enough to see us do the big test of 22K? That big round number. I don't doubt there's going to be a lot of sell resistance at 22,000, Let's see how we go. But hey, it's anyone's call. It's anyone's guess as to what's going to happen next. All we can go off is past performance, like things like how does Bitcoin like to behave with these setups, like these different chart you know, like patterns. It had another bull pennant back through here, actually. You see that? It's kind of like a falling wedge, but not quite. Yeah, a bit of a nice breakout, but then it sold off straight back lower, actually, than the pennant itself. So, but yeah, the retest here, the double bottom, that was enough to get the bull moving again. This double bottom here. And then, you know, once we broke through that previous high, that really gave confidence to the bulls to get in and push it to that next level up. So, yeah, we're working on this this rectangle. Hopefully it's not exhausted. But yeah, that's, you know, the top boundary, like the extreme top would be that high there. The extreme low of this range would be the lowest point there. So we need to exit this box. If we break out to the top side of this box, that might be enough energy to get us up here and punch through 22. Just have to see how excited the market gets from this move that we've been through over the last couple of hours. It's really, yeah, it's a nice build of value over time here. Mind you, we're only on the hourly chart here, looking at the. But yeah, check out this volatility here that we had. This was crazy. That was all over the place. It's good to see things get shook up. Just, I mean, look at this one here. That's very wild. You know, we're used to things being flat and boring lately. But yeah, here we are. There we go. It looks like it's climbing. Let's see if we can get to the top of this rectangle. Test that previous high. Now, just to give you a price of what that is, it's $21,838. Oleg, I remember your name, Oleg Rasevich. Crypto Down Under's going well. It's been asleep for some months now, but yeah, it's been fun to stream again. I streamed quite a bit in June. We're in July now, so it's been almost daily. Today's stream has gone for just under an hour so far. But yeah, I think the peak viewers that I've been getting is like about 40 to 45. So that's a good day. If I can get 45 to 50, that's a good day. I think at the height of the bull market last year, I was getting consistently at least 200. And then sometimes, you know, up to 400 or 500 people. Yeah, which was really cool. Yeah, and I think a lot of that audience probably aren't interested in crypto at this time. They're not really looking at it. They're not involved, and they've probably lost a lot of money. which is normal. That's what happens. You know, people that are brand new to the space, they go through that cycle of greed in the bull market, thinking that they're going to make all this money, but you know, the bear market happens and everything they put in has gone down, you know, 80%, 70%, whatever. Unless they were smart enough to sell it and get out. But yeah, the the viewers will come back. I think when crypto's trending again, like when it goes viral, like it does in the bull markets, that's when you'll see the the stream count go up, like the viewers. It's cryptomania. It happens. Yeah, like all the they call them moon boys, all the moon boys out there. You know, it'll happen. It'll come back. It happens in cycles. So yeah, we're at the back end of a bear market. Well, you could argue it's the start of a bear market. So um, I don't think we're going to see a true record-breaking bull market. You know, where we hit new all-time highs until after the next halving, which is 2024. But hey, there's still money to be made between now and then, so it doesn't mean you can't do anything. Just it's a different game. It's a different game indeed. Well, just waiting, being patient, seeing if the Bulls can win this arm wrestle. Yeah, that's good. It's awesome. Give yourself a pat on the back for sticking around and still being interested in crypto during a bear market. You know, because a lot of people walk away from it. A lot of people forget about it, and you know they remember it, what it was like in the bull cycle. But yeah, they don't return until the next bull cycle where it's too late. So yeah, it's good that you guys are paying attention. It's a patience game, and the people that are patient will be rewarded. Impatience is not rewarded. Impatience gets punished. You know, buying the highs, selling the lows, getting frustrated, being emotional. Thank you, Yo Yo. Appreciate that. Aaron says, I haven't sold anything in 15 months. I just keep buying more, hoping long-term accumulation pays off. Yeah, well, I think so, Aaron. I think, I think eventually, I don't know how long it's going to take, but we will see new all-time highs for the total market cap. I don't know how long it's going to take, but I don't think crypto's going anywhere. And it's a bold statement, but yeah, I don't see why. I don't see why it would just completely cancel. No one's in control of Bitcoin. No one controls it. It's decentralized. It'll always be around. You can't cancel Bitcoin. The only way to cancel Bitcoin is cancel the internet. Really. I think there's always going to be a way to buy and sell Bitcoin. Um, you know, and the fact that You've got a lot of countries that are very pro crypto as well. Australia is pro crypto. America, surprise, surprise, is pro crypto as well. They just want to regulate it. They want to protect people. Well, that's what they say. They claim that they're trying to protect people by, stamping down on regulation. Like, if they had it their way, you would not be able to trade with leverage anywhere on anything. That's too much power in the hands of the people to trade, and too much danger as well. Like, that's probably what they sort of say. It's too easy for people to lose money with leverage, and it is very easy to lose money with margin trading or futures. Futures trading with leverage. But yeah, KYC, know your customer, where you have to scan your driver's license, prove who you are as a person before you're allowed to trade on their platform. That's just an example of regulation. It's anti-money laundering, which is completely understandable. A lot of criminals will launder illegal activities through crypto, money laundering. So I'm totally in support of all that. Like, anti-money laundering, know your customer, because that illegal kind of activity is what threatens our freedom to participate in trading crypto and investing in it. It undermines it. The reason a lot of freedoms get lost is because of criminal activity. To stop the criminals, everyone gets punished with tighter restrictions and laws and regulation. It's like to stop the bad activity of the criminals, everyone suffers from losing their freedom and liberty to do things, because they are honest people. The majority of people are law-abiding, honest people. It's just that, yeah, the minority ruin it for the rest of us, don't they? It sucks. Yeah, criminals do use cash. That's right. Which is, it kind of shows you, governments aren't all powerful. Governments and, regulators, they can't just change the rules at the drop of a hat. It's too complicated. Criminals use cash, which is an amazing way to get around, to keep things untraced and do things under the radar. And we still have a cash society. It's not cashless. That's the ideal world that the government would like, is every dollar traced and traceable to an individual. But yeah, we don't live in that world yet. And I'm sure that's probably what's going to happen in the future, is all money is going to be. And I'm happy, like I'm happy to I don't mind living in a world like that, to be honest. I don't care if someone knows what I bought. Who cares? I'm not trying to be fraudulent or deceptive to any kind of regulator. So, by all means. Shiba. Let's have a look. Hey, look, XRP's having a nice little push up here to the top of that resistance line, that angular resistance. I'm going to open up a Shiba chart. My thoughts on Sheeb. I mean, it's got a bit of work to do to get above. It's in a range, right? The existing range is something like this. Oh, there's some. See, look, there's so many highs in this area. It's hard to say where the top is. Wait, let me just drag this across. Like, there's an extreme high here and an extreme low back over here. So that's the range. And then there's like, you know, these sub ranges as well, like there, which would extend across to here. But yeah, it's got higher lows and it's working on higher highs, that's for sure. It's trying to trend back up. First major resistance will be here at 1200 Shiba Toshis. Yeah, 1200, 1300. It's like every round number there's going to be resistance, but the good news with Shiba is that it's it's sold off so heavy. It's already above the resistance of the previous range from last year, which was here. So it's using that old range as support now. It's proved here, 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 and all here. This was like... Sorry, I keep needing to cough. My voice is still a bit broken, but yeah, this was just the dramatic area where Bitcoin went down, you know, punched down to $17,000, 17,600. But yeah, it's really cool to see Shiba using the previous resistance as its current support, which, you know, that previous resistance was all back through here. But yeah, here's a great example of rectangle trading. When you can identify a range, like, you know, you take the highs and the lows, you can draw a box around it. When you break that range, like with any real confidence, you know that, hey, the party has started. So are we dealing with any kind of rectangle here? Yes. And you know, you might argue that the top of the rectangle's more like this-ish. Somewhere down here. And you know, you could even argue that the bottom is here, like that. And this, you know, right here was a fake out. Or just over exuberant activity because of the Bitcoin sell-off. Was all of that. You can see that it recovered back into the rectangle and has been using it as support again, now that things have stabilized. You know, this push down was dramatic. This rebound bounce was dramatic. But you can see where price settles within this rectangle. And this is the same, you know, you can apply this to any other crypto or any other market for that matter. You can identify these ranges, these rectangles. Check out this one. So this isn't a rectangle, this is a bear pennant, which actually broke to the upside. Just there like that. You know, expected move is to break down, but it did a break up. Kind of like a Bart Simpson, you know, an inverse Bart Simpson, which is what Bitcoin used to do a hell of a lot. Can't see my screen? Oh, you're sitting in Discord. Okay. Yeah, I'm only sharing my screen through YouTube at the moment, Crypto Sleeper. Sorry. But anyway, I'm pretty much going to wrap it up here, guys. Thanks for tuning in. And we'll see if we can get that test of 22K by next stream. All right. Take care. Thanks for tuning in. See ya.